El Paso, Texas is putting the brakes on busing migrants to blue cities like New York and Chicago after a new Biden policy that sends Venezuelan migrants back to Mexico. Sound familiar? It's a continuation of President Trump's highly criticized Title 42 rule that the Biden White House has now adopted. Joining us now is El Paso Council member Claudia Rodriguez. Good to see you, Claudia.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. How did the mayor feel about Title 42 when it was under Trump?
I don't personally know how the mayor felt during, about Title 42. I do know that Title 42 was lifted pretty early on at the beginning of the Biden administration, and we didn't begin to see the surge of migrants up until May. That's when we started having the issue here in El Paso. El Paso's a little bit northwest of Texas, so I think everybody in South Texas were the ones that were really getting hit by the whole migration crisis. And then in May, that's when it started to move to El Paso, and we started seeing the surge in the Venezuelan migrants.
So El Paso is known as a blue city. How do the citizens feel about the fact that Title 42 has been enacted?
Again, I think the city of El Paso has done a great job about, trying to keep it local. My whole issue was that the El Paso taxpayers, our general fund, was funding this thing. So that's when I started ringing the alarm, and that's when people started paying attention and started saying, hey, this is not okay. We don't appreciate our hard-earned property taxes going towards paying for busing and sheltering and, handling an issue that does not belong to the city of El Paso. It belongs to, the responsibility is of the federal government.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Since Biden enacted Title 42, 4,500 Venezuelans have been sent back. So there's been another controversy with the mayor of El Paso, and that is that he said in an interview that the president of the United States pressured him not to declare an emergency, and then he backtracked. I want you to listen to this because videotape doesn't lie.
Right.
Did the White House ask you not to declare a state of emergency?
Absolutely not.
The chief of the U.S. Border Patrol, Chief Ortiz, and he does not support declaring a state of emergency at this point. We may have to do that. I mean, there's going to be a point where we may have to do that. But at this point, and the White House has asked at this point for us not to do that.
Okay, so Claudia, he clearly lied. But the question still stands. Is it a state of emergency in El Paso right now?
Right. So yesterday, I actually took a ride downtown where the crisis was originally, where the gatherings of all the migrants were happening at our local Greyhound station. What I saw was essentially a chain link fence with a bunch of porta potties inside of there. There was a bunch of leftover clothing and trash. But I did not see a single person there. However, our airport is the one that's saturated with migrants. I am receiving messages from my constituents saying, hey, our airport is absolutely inundated with migrants.
Wow, they're using the El Paso airport as a place to launch off to other places. Is that what you're saying is happening at the airport?
Yes.
Okay. Fascinating. Claudia, you've been a really honest broker throughout all of this, and I'm sure your constituents and the people and the good citizens of El Paso appreciate that. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
You got it.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.